What's up, YouTube? So today is episode number 5, which for me is awesome because it's the first time that I've actually consistently done 5 days worth of content, which for me is awesome because I didn't really know how I was going to do these kind of mini vlogs, whether it's going to be once a week, every other day, but for me, having done it 5 days in a row is awesome. So there we go, we're on to a win. In case you're interested, managed to get up at 6 AM. So out of those 5 days, 4 of them I got up at 6 AM. Obviously 1 I didn't, but it's all positive and it's all part of that feel-good process and aspiring to be more, which is what we're aiming to do. So today I wanted to actually talk about, but it's going to be 2 parts of this really. Part 1 is kind of it's about chasing your dreams and never giving up and not listening to what anyone else says, and the second part of it is to do with kind of a work-life balance. So if you see me rub my hands a lot, it's because it's pretty freaking cold at the moment here in England, and yeah, I'm not adjusting too well at the moment. But yeah, part 1, chasing your dreams. So today one of my staff at work has just come back, and it was her first day back from being away in Australia. And she's just having a chat with her today. She looked amazing. She's been away, she looks refreshed, she feels good. And the thing that kind of sums it all up for me is that's been her dream for a long time, to go away, to visit Australia, visit family out there. And it's amazing that she's gone and done it, because I hope she doesn't mind me saying she's got 4 children, and I hear so many couples who have kids use their kids as reasons why they shouldn't travel, they shouldn't go explore, they shouldn't do this, or they can't do this, they can't do that. And my staff member has just kind of blown me away, and she's gone and done it despite her commitments here in the UK, and she just had the most amazing time. And it just shows you that if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. And she went and did that. She works part-time for me, and even on that, she was able to save up and go achieve her dream, and she had the most amazing time, and it was incredible to hear that. And she's just so positive. And we had a good talk about Australia, because I used to live there, so I lived there for 3-4 years, something like that. But yeah, I lived there for a while, so it was good to kind of reminisce about the times and relate to some of the experiences she had. And that kind of brings me on to the second part, which is all about work-life balance. And it's interesting because one of the things that we were actually talking about was how things are done very differently between the UK and Australia. And it's always interesting to speak to people who visit Australia, because their mindset and how they go about life is just so different. And you always hear the kind of common phrases, work to live, live to work, all these types of things. And I think it is very true that not all the people here in the UK, but a vast majority of them, we do live to work. And it's quite sad really when you think about it, because we spend so much time at work, we invest so much, so much of our own kind of energy into something that takes away the things that make us happy. And if you're someone that loves your job and loves what you do, awesome, if it makes you happy, then that's all that matters. However, there's so many people here who get up at the crack of dawn and commute hours to go to a job they don't really like, but they have to do to support their friends, support their family, themselves, and they're just miserable. And you can see it when you go to London or wherever you might go, you get the train and everyone there looks just miserable. And I'm sure they're not miserable. I'm sure, deep down, maybe they're happy, maybe they enjoy what they do. But when you go to Australia, it's just such a different mindset. Everyone out there kind of works to live, and the whole kind of thing is flipped on its head. Yeah, okay, they're brought up, being very active, going outside a lot. And I think that has such a huge impact. There's such sociable people out there, and they spend so much time meeting up, being active, looking after themselves. And it kind of makes you wonder, at the moment here in the UK, we have, at the end of last year, reports came out that we have one of the highest rates of obesity in the world, in both adults and children. we have one of the highest rates of inactivity in our population, and we have one of the highest rates of mental health illnesses within our population. And if you look at, like, say, I'm using Australia as a comparison because I've lived in both countries, there's so much more active, so much more sociable people, and yeah, there's obviously mental health issues there, but the whole concept is different. They want to just get in, do the work, get out, and then go be sociable. Whereas here, you can spend hours working, and it's so easy to get into that mindset of, I have to work, I have to make money, and if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. That's kind of, I know it's easier said than done, but literally we are in a day and age where you can make a job out of anything, and you can do anything that you put your mind to. Having worked in recruitment, you don't need to be, there are some jobs where you need to be skilled or qualified. However, as long as you do your research before, as long as you kind of educate yourself in that sector, there's no reason you can't apply and get a job and, pursue a career in something that you've wanted to do. It's not just going to happen overnight. You've got to put the work in, but you can achieve your dream job if you put the time and effort into it. And it's just such this wheel, like, the society wheel that here especially, we're kind of wanting to get into work straight away so we can earn money, so we can get a house, get a roof over our head, climb the corporate ladder, and all these things. And you just think, why do this? As I say, you look at Australia, and I'm sure there's people that do the same, but they love being outdoors. They love doing all these sociable things, hanging with friends, hanging with family, going out surfing. I know it sounds very stereotypical, but it's true. And they love exploring, and I think it's just such a different culture, and it's alarming that many people actually pick up the difference between the two cultures. And if you are someone who finds yourself grinding away day in, day out, maybe take a step back and reassess what you want to do, because if you're not happy, man, I'd just get out of there, because it's just going to drain you, it's going to make you feel negative, and those negative thoughts, as we know, they'll just fuel that kind of almost depressive feeling, and you just end up kind of putting yourself down. So yeah, I think, a big thing to take away from this is, one, follow your dreams, because as I said earlier, there's literally, you can't come up with any excuses, because people will find ways to achieve them. If you really, really want to achieve something, you will find a way to make it happen. And likewise with your job, someone who puts a lot of time into what they do because they enjoy it, if you put too much time in, you can burn out. And this happened to me last year. I was getting up, I was doing a couple of hours of personal training, doing my 8-hour shift, doing another 1-2 hours of personal training, coming home, packaging t-shirts until midnight, getting up at the crack of dawn, and the whole process starts again. And as much as you love it and as much as you enjoy it at the time, you burn out. So it's important to look after yourself and make sure you get that work-balance life on par. If not, life takes priority, because a job is a job at the end of the day. Yes, we need money to live, but at the same time, it's not everything. Your happiness, your well-being is so much more important. And that's kind of what I learned last year when I did burn out. I've now reduced my hours of personal training, I've reduced my hours working in management, and that gives me more time to spend with the people I love, to do the things that I want to do. And that's what makes me feel good, that's what makes me feel happy. Otherwise, you just end up stressed, you take work home with you and you never stop. And I've been there before, and it's not a great place to be. So 2 things to take from today, which, I feel good. It always makes me feel good hearing other people's, successes and their stories. And those 2 things are, follow your dreams, follow your passions, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And then secondly, make sure you're getting that work-life balance right, because otherwise, it's just going to impact you massively. And we're all about positivity here. Hope your week's got off to a good start, and I will catch you tomorrow. Until then, see yous.